Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Please continue to pray for my career pivot in Taiwan by singing along with me, gesturing at your screen, and smashing one of the prayer buttons. Let's sing again. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. So I'm pleased to say that my paper on AI in the game of backgammon or Scrabble was accepted to the conference in Taiwan. I have little nicknames for all of my games. So I like to give nicknames based on the current events going on in the game. So I have four big games in my life. I wrote a version of Ultimate Tic Tac Toe. It's on a 9x9 board. And I had just started writing it when Mary Curry turned 150 years old. So I named the game after. And also because of the way the machine learning worked, and it had kind of like a half life to it. So it was kind of like Mary Curry's discovery. So I named that one Mary Curry's game. Oh, actually, there was another one. I had just started writing an AI for the game of a dice game of Einstein Werfeld Not. And it was the 50th anniversary of when we lost JFK, so that was the JFK Memorial Game. What was really interesting was that for the 60th anniversary, I commemorated by digging out that game and fixing up a few things, and it got even better. So that was the JFK anniversary game. We had just went into lockdown for COVID-19 when I started writing an AI for the game of backgammon, and the AI became known as Corona Gammon as a result. Russia had invaded Ukraine, and I started writing. You got to remember, Poland came to support of Ukraine, and I started writing an AI for the game of Ticket to Ride Poland, and I named the game E-Polonium because I thought polonium would be a great drug for us executing Putin when it's all said and done, as a lethal injection or some kind of way to execute Putin. I believe Russia at one point used umbrella as a gun and shot a pellet of polonium into one of their spies. So that could be a way to execute Putin, right? If the shooting doesn't do him in, the polonium will, right? And my Scrabble game, I've nicknamed the Big Beautiful game because of Trump's Big Beautiful Bill, right? Oh, there's another one. I was competing in the Computer Olympiad in 2020. It was remote, obviously, that year. And I very quickly wrote an AI for the game of Chinese checkers. It was my record. I literally went from start to finish with that game in less than a month because I really wanted to go to that competition. And I nicknamed it Operation Warp Speed because at the time we were dealing with COVID, and it was a very short timeline. And just like the real Operation Warp Speed, my Operation Warp Speed was a flop as well. So it was kind of fitting to that. So pray that I want to move to Taiwan. I made a lot of friends the last time I was there, and I don't run into as much hostility over there. I am autistic, and I find that I don't run into a lot of barriers over there. And also, I don't run into a lot of barriers with my difference in sexuality, right? There's a lot more. Also, another big one is that when I go out, there's a there's a lot less culture centered around drinking over there. Do people drink in Taiwan? Sure, it's legal over there, but at the same time, there's a whole social environment outside of drinking over in Taiwan, I find. So when I go to these board game meetups, people aren't always stuffing their faces with junk food, with alcohol. It's easier for me to fit in an environment like that. You don't stick out by not partaking, right? And a lot less hostility. I recently had to buy a car, and I ran into a lot of hostility as I was dealing with that. And I hate to go into the detail here. Over in Taiwan, first of all, over in Taiwan, I won't need a car. Even if I did and I was buying one, I think I would not run into so many hostilities going about my day doing that. So please pray for my big pivot. Please pray for the big beautiful game. This is the Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Like Show. Bum 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 bum.